yo.
Coming to you live from Philly. It's the #1 rated Paulie Tony Fusco Show.
Yo.
As always, Paulie Fusco here with Tony Fusco. And Tony, you know, we got to tell all the people, if you're watching on YouTube or on our longtime simulcast partner, WPQZ, Philly's own Channel 68, you may have noticed something different in our open. You know, if you listen to last week's episode, which I must say, Tony, we totally saved. Donovan McNabb, this is true. Eagles quarterback agreed to be a guest on the show and then totally ghosted us at the last minute. And you know, Tony, we probably should have known he was totally unreliable when we saw him throw up in the Super Bowl.
That was a sure sign there.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Donovan McNabb's photo at the top of the show has now been replaced with Nick Foles, who, you know, has canceled on us many times, but has never thrown up in the Super Bowl. So, you know, we're still in our good graces.
Yep, and he only threw up touchdowns.
Well said, Tony. There you go. Good one. Anyway, our guest today, we got to give a little disclaimer here. You know, we have a rule on this show never to have kickers as guests because, you know, nobody cares what kickers have to say. And, you know, their ratings.
I never even heard a kicker talk before.
Exactly. I don't think so either. Anyway, last week, we had a take on this show that went more than viral. It went mega viral. And, you know, what we said was Dak should be blamed for that terrible Cowboys kicker, Brett Maher, you know, missing those extra points.
It's the truth.
Well, our guest, apparently, he wants to weigh in. He's a two-time Super Bowl champion kicker with the Giants, Lawrence Tynes. And unlike Donovan McNabb, he actually confirmed. So I think he'll be here.
Yeah. He was probably so excited that someone wanted to talk to him on his show, or even just talk to him, period.
Yeah, well, until then, we actually have new Cowboys disasters to cover. You know, they're screwing up so much left and right, it's almost hard to keep up with this team.
They're coming at us fast and furious.
Anyway, we totally called it. We told you the Cowboys would suck and the Eagles would win the Super Bowl. And look,
we called
our predictions coming true. It's why we're the most trusted name in sports talk for 23, almost 24 years now. And we're going to break down all the major storylines from the playoffs in a moment. But first, you know, gotta pay the bills, even though we could totally afford them. But, you know, that's what they say. An important message from today's sponsor, our good friends at Cricket Wireless. Are you paying too much for your wireless? Well, then you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah. What do you think? Your phone calls are that important? You think you're the president or something?
Cricket Wireless, the number 12 name in telecommunications. Cricket Wireless. All right, Tony, now that we got that business out of the way, it's time to address the biggest story in all of sports. Of course, you know what I'm talking about. And that's why right now we're going to bring you a Fusco Show special report. Cowboys in crisis.
Cowboys in crisis.
Yet another embarrassing loss by one of the most losingest franchises in all of sports. The Dallas Cowboys taking a huge L from the San Francisco 49ers. And Dak Prescott just having a rough Tony Romo-esque performance, throwing 2 interceptions. And, you know, it should have been more. But, you know, the 49ers, they kept dropping all those easy picks because they were probably so in shock by those shitty passes Dak was throwing.
They couldn't believe it.
Yeah, they couldn't. They're like, wait, you're actually making it that easy for me? They couldn't get over the shock. Anyway, you know, Dak's embarrassing performance, you know, came after he led the league in interceptions during the regular season, even though he only started a paltry 12 games. Anyway, after the loss to the 49ers, Dak said about all those interceptions, he said, quote, "I promise the number will never be this high again." Tony, does this sound to you like, you know, just talk, or can Dak actually deliver on that very bold promise?
You know, I think he can. In fact, it's very clear what Dak needs to do next season if he wants to throw fewer interceptions. He needs more injuries. The more he's injured, the fewer games he can play in, and the fewer interceptions he can throw. Just look at the 2020 season. Dak's numbers were great in that year. Sure, he only started 5 games, but he also only threw 4 interceptions. So, if I'm Mike McCarthy, I'm telling Dak, stop working on throwing passes and start working on throwing your back out.
Terrific analysis and also advice there, Tony. Just terrific. And
Thank
when you
you.
step back and you take what they call a bird's eye perspective at the Cowboys and just yet another disappointing season by them, it's easy to spot where the problem is. People think the problem starts at the end of the season. No. The problem, it happens before the season ever starts. You see, because the Cowboys used to be good, decades ago, for some reason now people get it in their heads that they can win Super Bowls. And Tony, that just puts too much pressure on everybody involved, the players, the coaches. It's too much pressure to handle. And Tony, you came up with a solution the other day that I thought was just brilliant. Why don't you just go ahead and tell the people what that was?
Yeah. Since the Cowboys are too terrible to compete for Super Bowls, they need to do what they call in business a rebrand.
Yep.
They need a name that's more representative of their horrible brand. I think the Cowboys need a new nickname, and there's a perfect one sitting right there unused. The Oilers. They never won a Super Bowl. They never even went to a Super Bowl. And Jerry Jones, his best work wasn't in football, but in oil.
Yep.
So just rebrand the team the Dallas Oilers. That will take the pressure off everybody. Now, if they just make the playoffs or even finish above 500, everyone will say, hey, that's pretty good for the Oilers.
What an education there, Tony. So much smart advice again by
Thank you.
And
Thank
before we move on, I just want to go back quickly to the interception machine known as Dak Prescott. Because, the organization, the Cowboys, or the Oilers, whatever you want to call them now, they're in a very tricky situation here, because he's got that contract. What do you do with him? You look at it, because he's got that huge cap hit, well, they can't cut him without losing a fortune there. And, because he's got that huge contract, well, nobody in their right mind is going to want to trade for him. And, Tony, usually, we have solutions here, very simple, but I don't know if the Cowboys have a way out of this. Do you?
I don't want to get into too much detail, given that we're on air here, broadcasting to millions of people. But let's just say I do know a few people who happen to specialize in this sort of situation. Just one phone call. And again, I don't want to say too much, but Dak, he just kind of goes away. Again, I don't want to say too much, but Quincy Carter was a Cowboys quarterback, and have you seen him since the year 2004?
Nope.
Me neither.
Wow. Well, I don't want to say too much here either, Tony, but, you made the point. If you're the Cowboys here, you do have to explore all options, don't you?
All options on the table.
Well, that right there concludes our special report, Cowboys in Crisis, and leads to our next special report, Jets in Crisis.
Jets in Crisis.
Yup, to another team struggling at quarterback with seemingly no end in sight, the New York Jets, who finished the season with many unanswered questions, like who their starting quarterback should be, and of course, which 42-year-old mom slept with one of their quarterbacks.
Yeah,
but that's neither here nor there. The big story right now, maybe an end in sight. There are rumors that the Jets could be engineering a trade for Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers. And when you break it down, Tony, here, Rodgers, he seems like he may actually be a perfect fit in New York. Isn't that right?
Yep. From what I see, Aaron Rodgers is close to achieving the necessary level of shittiness to make him eligible to be a Jets quarterback. All his numbers, including passer rating, are down like 200%, which has him right on track. Let me demonstrate on this chart. On the left side, that line represents fit. And on the right side, that line represents shittiness. As you can see, the shittier that Aaron Rodgers gets, the more he fits in with the Jets.
Wow.
Right now, Aaron Rodgers has a somewhat solid level of fit and shittiness. My only concern is that he might need a couple more years to achieve the proper level of shittiness necessary for a Jets quarterback. This is why I think the team should pursue better options like Daniel Jones or Andy Dalton, who are perfectly shitty right now.
Just more terrific analysis by you there, Tony. And, it leads me to a question. Clearly you're the expert here. In your estimation, do you think that Dak Prescott now qualifies to be a Jets quarterback?
Absolutely. Dak is on such a downward spiral that he is actually racing upwards towards the top of the Jets QB wish list.
Wow.
My sources tell me the Jets front office was very impressed with his performance in that 49ers game. Don't be surprised if trade talks heat up soon.
Well, we'll keep an eye on any breaking developments there. And in the meantime, that concludes our special report, Jets in Crisis. And leads to our next special report, Giants in Crisis.
Giants in Crisis.
Tony, before we get into our takes here, I see our guest. He's already on the line. So we could talk, or maybe we could just go to him as he's a former Giant.
Wow, he's early. He's the opposite of Donovan McNabb.
Yeah, he's the anti-McNabb. He showed up early. Good for him. You know what?
Yep.
We're going to just get to that. So why don't we go ahead and just bring him on the Fusco Satellite Network.
Fusco Satellite Network.
All right, this guy, he was a two-time Super Bowl champion kicker with the Giants. All right.
Okay.
But he did beat Tom Brady and the Patriots twice. So, good for him there. We got to,
that's good.
give credit where it's due.
Respect. Yep.
In 2004, he led the NFL in extra points made. But, everyone expects kickers to make extra points, so,
it's your job.
Nothing to get excited about there.
Yeah.
All right, just to be perfectly clear here, we usually don't have kickers on the show because, nobody wants to hear from them and their ratings poison. But we're going to make an exception this week for this guy here. So let's bring him in. Lawrence Tynes, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Hey, appreciate you guys having me. I was going to ask that question. Am I the first and perhaps only kicker you've had on?
And last. Yeah.
Probably going to be the last. But
we're gonna see if this is a mistake we don't want to make again.
Yeah, exactly.
Just for the record, I see you. For our viewers on YouTube, there, he's got his 2 Super Bowl trophies in the background there. It's kind of hitting the nail on the head, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, they actually give kickers trophies too, if you can believe that. I had to pay extra for those, but
how much?
Those
how
are
much
hard
that
earned.
set you back?
Yeah, what that cost you?
That's confidential. Confidential. I have a guy. These are not like the legitimate.
What?
Tiffany
a guy,
and
an
Co.
aluminum maker?
Yeah, he's an aluminum maker.
I got to get on eBay. $50.
Guy. Yeah, but he's underground. The NFL would get after him if he knew if they knew he was making.
Yeah, look, let's just get into our topic here before we get into Zoom backgrounds and off topic. All right, let's get to the first reason we brought you here. You heard our take. Last week we made headlines when we said Dak Prescott should be blamed for that terrible Cowboys kicker, Brett Maher, just being horrible and missing all those extra points. Now, we said boldly, if Dak got into the end zone more, Brett Maher would have had been able to practice more extra points. Now, don't you agree that Dak should be blamed here for that?
Yeah, no question.
Oh, there you go, people.
Yeah, he should absolutely get in the end zone more, and Brett Maher wouldn't be a punchline, which he was going into the game on Sunday. But yeah, that's all Dak Prescott's fault. Dak Prescott stinks, by the way. I think he stinks.
Well, let's get right into it. All right. What leads you to that obvious conclusion?
Giving the ball to the other team more times than you should. I think that pretty much sums up the quarterback play of what he did this second half of the season. So yeah, Dak Prescott stinks.
Yeah, and obviously you are an expert on subpar quarterback play as you played with Eli Manning.
With Eli, so you saw it up close.
Yeah, so are you saying there's a comparison there? Eli, Dak,
not even close. That's what you see those 2 trophies up there. Dak hasn't even sniffed one. Never mind touched one or have one. Eli Manning is an assassin. What are you talking about? Great player.
Oh, well, hold on just a moment.
Cold-blooded.
No. We want to go back into your past here because maybe you've been brainwashed or something. We went and looked up, those stats. We thought you would have more, resentment toward Eli Manning. And can we just get into that here? Because, he gets credit for those Super Bowl wins, right? But why? Let's go to Super Bowl 46, shouldn't we, Tony? All right?
Exactly. That tells the story.
In that game, the Giants scored 21 points, okay? Eli Manning, Super Bowl MVP. He threw 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
Lawrence, you know how many points 1 touchdown is?
I think it's 6.
Correct. Meanwhile, you had 2 field goals and an extra point. Lawrence, how many points is that?
That's 7, and I should have been the Super Bowl MVP.
That's where we're going. You're calling him an assassin. Yeah. You won the championship.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that game in particular, I should have been the MVP. I should have got a cool car, Escalade, Corvette, whatever the hell he drove off in. But it never goes to the kickers, only the quarterbacks.
Now, doesn't that piss you off?
It does piss me off.
Oh, that does.
It does piss me off. Yeah. But I don't resent him because we're not there without his play prior to that Super Bowl, if that makes any sense.
Well, no. It was not always roses there, right? There was some tough times. Did you turn to him and say, hey, you got to get the ball in the end zone more so I can get more practice on these extra points? Yeah.
No, the interceptions were just practice. He's trying new things in games. I never said that to Eli, ever. No, he was fantastic. Really? All 6 years I was with him. Yeah, he's really good. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Is he in the room with you right now? Yeah. Is that why you have those 2 trophies there? You're actually at Eli's house?
Yeah, is he holding you hostage right now?
Yeah, I have one of those big stickers on the wall. What do you call them? Fatheads? Sitting over there.
I got to be honest, because you do sound like someone who is being held captive currently and maybe under the influence of some kind of brain-altering drug.
No, that's not happening. We could talk about your background. It looks like you're being held hostage somewhere in a third world country.
This is the finest, wood paneling in the entire tri-state area. Shame on you.
How about that on-air sign? you have? Where'd you get that? At a garage sale?
Yeah, it's called being a professional. I don't see one in your background.
Now you know.
It's not even a light. It's like a sign. An on-air sign has like a light that should come on when you're on air. That thing's on all the time.
What are you, a technical director?
Yeah. No. I know what B-roll is. You know what B-roll is?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm gonna be rolling you off the show if you don't.
Exactly. You better watch it.
Can I just ask you one question? I just want to check if you're all there or not, mentally. When you look at Daniel Jones, what do you see there?
I see an ascending top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
What? Are you kidding me?
Would you have said that about Jalen Hurts last year? Lawrence? You guys were trying to get rid of Jalen Hurts last year.
No way. We were motivating him.
No.
Every outlet, every play, everybody was trying to get rid of
Tony, what this
Hurts.
proves, quiet there, Lawrence. It proves that kickers don't know anything about football.
No. They don't watch the game. They're practicing kicking the ball on the sideline.
They don't know anything.
Yeah.
No.
If there's anyone who's going to be running out, there's any going to be running out, it's you out of the show. You don't put words in our mouth like that. So you know what? I'm going to give you one more opportunity right here. Go ahead.
Fair.
I just want to see. Eli Manning, shit quarterback or not? Say it right now.
He won 2 Super Bowls. How could he be shit quarterback?
By scoring 6 points.
And then,
by one touchdown pass.
Here's a point for you.
Yeah.
Shut up and get out of here.
Guess
you're
what?
Off the
You
show.
just kicked
I'm
and you missed, Lawrence. You're wide right. Wide right. Because you're off the show.
I'm kicking you out of here.
Goodbye. See ya. You're off the show.
Is he off the line?
Jay. Hang up the phone.
This is exhibit A of why you don't invite kickers on a sports talk show. It's terrible.
Yeah, that was a huge waste of Tynes.
Great one by you, Tony. There you go.
Thank you.
Anyway, let's go out on a positive note. We do want to thank our new sponsor, Cricket Wireless.
Wait. They were great.
Oh,
no.
Wait. If it isn't producer Jay.
Yeah, I prefer the sound of crickets to him.
Yeah, where are you right now? What is this?
It's a technology conference in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Did you go because you don't know how to use technology, apparently?
For the people who want to know what Jay does outside of work, I'm sure this is a huge surprise for them.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. All right, well, we hate to interrupt your technology conference, but on the subject of interruptions, you interrupted us.
Yeah, so, what do you want?
Yeah, what?
Well, corrections. There's still corrections.
What? Go.
You said the Cowboys are one of the losingest franchises in all of sports.
Yep.
Yeah, they're terrible.
True.
What?
No. They made the playoffs the last 2 years and even won a playoff game. So they're not the losingest.
Oh, yeah, well, if anyone knows what it takes to be a loser, it's you.
Yeah, you and the Cowboys actually have something in common. Everybody hates you.
Great one, Tony. Good one there.
Got him. Thank you.
Good
That's it. We're done. No more.
Number 2.
Hurry up.
What?
You said Aaron Rodgers' passer rating dropped by 200% this season?
Yeah, it was
terrible
horrible.
season for him.
Yeah.
No, his passer rating went from 111.9 down to 91.1. So that's actually a drop of 20%, not 200%.
Well, I'm going to give you a 200% drop out of a helicopter.
Yeah, your passer rating is 100 because 100% of girls pass on you. Yeah.
Good one, Tony. You got him.
Last one.
What? Go.
Hurry
What?
up. What?
You said nobody has heard from Cowboys quarterback Quincy Carter since 2004.
Yeah, nobody.
Yeah, I don't know
Disappeared,
anything about
vanished.
that. Yep.
No. He went on to play for several other professional football leagues, and now he's coaching youth football. So you can't say nobody hasn't heard from him.
Oh, yeah? Well, let's just say you're about to disappear like Quincy Carter did.
Yeah. I can't give out too many details, but let's just say I made a phone call and you're done.
Yeah, that's the end
Look
of him.
at him. He's done. Look
It's
at him,
ruined the
Paulie.
technology conference for him.
Oh, we
but
ruined
don't
the
worry.
conference
There's
for
good
him.
news. There's good news, Tony.
What's that?
Just booked. Coming to the show next week, people. Can't wait. Nick Foles. Just in time to discuss the
great
Super Bowl.
news.
That is going to be huge. Who better to talk to there?
Can't wait.
In the
Can't
meantime,
wait.
don't forget to follow us on our many social media platforms. You know, we're just taking off in the tech world there, despite
It's
our
crazy.
producer.
Yup.
And Tony, great job as always.
Same to you, Paulie. Another flawless show.
There you go. We'll see you people next week. Bye.
See ya.